Well, former President Trump is pulling in big money now after his fourth indictment in Georgia. His 2024 campaign says that they've raised $7.1 million since that mugshot was released and went viral last week. Nearly $20 million in the last 3 weeks as well. Joining me now to kick off our Young Conservative Week is former New Hampshire congressional candidate and MAGA Inc. spokesperson, Karoline Leavitt. Karoline, great to see you. Thanks very much for being here this morning. We appreciate you kicking off our Young Conservative Week, and we want to know more about what's happening with young people right now. We were talking earlier about the black community up in arms over all of these indictments for President Trump. What are you seeing in the young populations?
Well, first of all, Maria, thank you so much for having me, and thanks for highlighting young conservatives like myself throughout the next week. And I will tell you, young Americans across this country, those that I've spoken to, my friends, my colleagues, and also polling indicates that they are increasingly dissatisfied with Joe Biden's administration and policies. And they also are outraged at what's going on with President Trump and the weaponization of our Department of Justice against him. It doesn't take a lot for one to recognize that ever since Donald Trump announced his presidency 8 years ago, back in 2016, this Department of Justice, the mainstream media, the corporate press, the billionaire donor class that wants to buy our elections while we the people want to decide them, have been targeting President Trump. This mugshot really is a pivotal moment in our nation's history, and I believe we're going to see a seismic shift in support moving forward for the former president. He is not only dominating in the Republican primary, but he is also beating Joe Biden in the general election. He's the only Republican that is beating Biden in general election polling, and it's because young Americans and all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed, recognize the sharp contrast between their lives under Joe Biden's presidency and under Donald Trump's presidency. During the Trump years, inflation wasn't an issue. We had a secure border. We had peace around the world. Our communities were safer and more prosperous. Interest rates were low. Mortgage rates were low. Right? The American dream was alive and well. And now under Joe Biden, it's never been more difficult to purchase a home. American families struggling, being robbed of $700 every single month. And so the contrast is clear for all Americans. And that's why you see a surge in support for President Trump. He's never been in a better position to win.
Yeah, but Karoline, I've seen lots of different polls, and in some polls it shows that Biden and Trump are neck and neck. So I want to be clear here in terms of whether or not Trump is beating Biden in these hypothetical polls. Also, you talk about young people surging for Trump. So what happened then in the 2022 elections? What happened in the 2020 election? I remember a young person calling me and saying, oh, I'm so excited that Joe Biden is going to forgive all of my student debt. I mean, wasn't that a promise that this president made to young people, and they believed it, so they came out and voted for him?
It's a false promise, and the Supreme Court roundly rejected that. Right, they roundly rejected that idea.
And it may have been a false promise, but it worked, Karoline. It brought young people out, even if he knew it was unconstitutional.
But yes, Maria, that was before young Americans and all Americans were feeling the real pinch in their pocketbooks from this administration. We've had the tax and spend policies of the Democrat Party and of the Biden regime literally robbing people of their hard-earned paychecks every month. I talk to young people all the time. Again, they're my colleagues and my friends who are literally counting their paycheck each week because they can't afford groceries, they can't afford gas, and they certainly can't afford a home. The American dream to purchase a home, to have a family, has never been more unattainable. And when you talk about the polling, yes, there was a New York Post poll this week that had Donald Trump beating Joe Biden by 4 points. An Emerson poll this morning also had him beating him. And here's a very important factor as well. Donald Trump is leading with independent voters by 18 points. He's leading in the Rust Belt, key states to win the Electoral College, as you know. And he's also winning and has an increase of support of all demographics. African Americans, Hispanic Americans especially, are dissatisfied with the Biden presidency because they've now had nearly 4 years of their policies impacting them and their families. Of course, the economic policies, but also the social issues that are just absolutely ludicrous. Most common sense Americans reject the Democrats' party premise that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. We need to restore common sense in this nation. That's what Donald Trump stands for, and that's why I'm very confident he's going to win this next election.
But you know, you can't really understand where these indictments are going. I mean, I agree. There was a lot of groups out there who were on the line, on the fence about Donald Trump. Now they see what's going on and they say, I'm with Trump. There's a video circulating online right now, Blacks for Trump, and they say the more you indict, the more we unite against, behind Donald Trump, rather. But GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley joined me yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures, and she blasted the Republicans. She blasted the prospect of Vice President Harris becoming president if Democrats win in 2024, and she's blaming all of this sky-high spending directly on Republicans. Watch this.
My concern is we cannot have Kamala Harris as president. We can't chance this. We have to make sure that we have a new generational leader that's going to bring in not only Republicans, but we're going to pull back the independents. We're going to bring back in the suburban women. We're going to bring in Hispanics. We're going to bring in the Asian community. We have to make sure we win this, because the thought of Kamala Harris being president should send a chill up every American spine.
Karoline, your thoughts on Nikki Haley?
Well, I agree that Kamala Harris should not be president. She shouldn't even be vice president of the United States. She's clearly not qualified. She can't even say a competent sentence without stumbling over her own words. But Nikki Haley should probably focus on earning support within her own party before she pitches herself as the best bet in the general election. She's polling in the single digits in my great home state of New Hampshire. She's not even showing up in the polls in Iowa. And so Donald Trump is the clear dominant frontrunner in the Republican Party. We need to unify against Joe Biden and the Democrats, because, as you just said, these indictments are ludicrous, and all Americans can see that. You have Jack Smith at the behest of Joe Biden, Merrick Garland bending the laws and using the Department of Justice to target the leading frontrunner in this next election and interfere in the election by removing his name off of the ballot. And you mentioned you saw videos of Donald Trump's motorcade going through urban Atlanta, and African Americans there chanting "Free Trump." Then you have Joe Biden going to Hawaii, which is an embarrassing trip for our entire nation. While he's sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, he shows up in Hawaii, a state that voted for him 2-1, and people are booing him. So there is a groundswell of support. There's a momentum that the corporate media and the donor class don't understand for Donald Trump, because people want their paychecks to go farther. They want gasoline to be $1.50 again, and they want to stop seeing our Department of Justice, that should be seeking justice and accountability, but instead seeking to imprison our former president and the leading frontrunner in the next election. Our constitutional republic is turning into a banana republic. All Americans can see it. That's why, again, Donald Trump is going to win this next election. Mark my words, Maria.
So you think, Karoline, that Trump's policies are better for young people than Biden's policies, even though he keeps saying that he's going to forgive everybody's debt?
Oh, most definitely. Again, those are false promises, and the Democrat Party is lying to young people. You can't wipe away student debt. Nothing is free. We're going to have to pay for it later, inevitably, when they take out more of our paychecks at the end of the day. And so my goal, of course, as a young conservative, is to relay that message to my peers, my colleagues, my former classmates, and everyone that I meet. And I surely do believe in my conversations, and again, looking at the polling, that young Americans are really feeling the pinch. Credit card debt in this nation has never been higher, and that burden sits on the backs of millennial Americans and Generation Z Americans. They're burdened by mountains of student debt as well, and they cannot afford to purchase a home with mortgage rates at 7-8%. They're stuck in what I call the rental rabbit hole, endlessly renting apartments in big cities where crime is also rampant. Young Americans don't feel safe in American cities. That is a sad reality, and it's going to have an impact on the next election.
Yeah, unfortunately, rent is also a sticker shock right now because of inflation, as you mentioned. Karoline, good to see you. We so appreciate your time this morning. Karoline Leavitt, one of our young conservatives of the week. Thanks, Karoline.